welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show off my recent haul from a local peddler's mall. This one was particularly from one vendor. I'm going to go ahead and give him a shout out at Kirby's Comics. He's been awesome, gave me some good deals over the last year or two getting back into comic collecting. I'm going to show off a few of the deals I was able to find from one of his booths. So first off, Power Man and Iron Fist, issue 77. I think prices are all over the place, but I believe I came out with a dollar average or close today, which is what I like to shoot for. You might be able to see on this one, 75 cents for this awesome Bronze Age comic. Okay, so moving on. I grabbed a couple of these flashback. First one here is X-Men. This is it, the tragic tale of a friendship shattered and a rivalry born. Okay, also flashback Journey into Mystery. Struggle all you will, but you cannot hope to win. Loki triumphant. So, looking forward to reading both of these. I am a fan of finding older comics in really beat up condition so I can get them cheap. I love reading those old stories. And probably my only DC find this time. This one, Silver Age Classics. This is the Green Lantern and Green Arrow. Iconic cover with Green Arrow shooting the lantern. And some may say it was so nice, they gave it to me twice. Alright, so, moving on again. Deadly Foes of Spider-Man. This is the first issue of that 4-issue run. I think I have this completed now, so I hope to be reading that one here soon. I don't know a whole lot about it past it's the Deadly Foes of Spider-Man, some of which you see there on the cover. Alright, keeping with the spider trend, here is issue number 9 of Spider-Girl, the daughter of the true Spider-Man. So, the long-awaited defeat of Spider-Girl. Ooh, I feel like I have issues in the 30s, so maybe it's not the true defeat. Alright, so continuing on. I was able to find a Marvel 2-in-1 presents Thing and Skull the Slayer. Grim, watch out behind you. Don't worry. Don't worry, Skull. There ain't nothing that can hurt me. So, I actually have a good chunk of the Thing and these 2-in-1, which focus on the Thing. But I do not know as much about Skull the Slayer, so perhaps I can read on this 1977 issue and learn a little more about him. So, speaking of the Thing, this is a run that I have been working on and have collected a good chunk of the run, I do believe. This filled in a gap for me in the 20s. I did pay more than $1 for it, but I also got an extra comic, which is Demon Wars, the Iron Samurai. Never heard of this before. Looks pretty awesome. This is in issue 1, so I may jump into reading this one and see if I want to continue on that run. So, alright, I did grab one issue of The Mighty Thor. This is the Jurgens run with Romita Jr. and Jansen. Issue number 2. I don't recall if I have issue 1 right off, but I have a few in this run already, so perhaps I can complete it fairly quick. Okay, so I did find a Doctor Strange. Sorcerer Supreme No More. This is issue 49. I believe I have a few other issues in the 40s and looking to have some consecutive issues and reading a fun story there, hopefully. Maybe a little sad, we'll see. Alright, Siege, Director's Cut. This is a Marvel one-shot. This, of course, was by Bendis. I don't know much about this Director's Cut. I have collected Siege and some of the comics associated with it, but let's go ahead and open it up for a moment. Let's take a peek. Oh, very nice. Now, hopefully I'm not spoiling anything for myself, but because I have not got through the whole main event yet. I know some of the synopsis though, but I'll have to figure out if I should read this before the main event or if I should wait till after. Alright. Very nice, and I believe I found this one for $1. Okay. Slide that back in, set that back over. Alright, so moving on. Here is What If, the X-Men Lost Inferno. This is issue number 6 of that, I believe, 1990s run of What If. With my fascination with the 90s, being a 90s baby, I've leaned more towards collecting this run from the 90s of What If. I do have 1 or 2 issues in the earlier run of it, but this run I have focused on more. So, curious to see how this one goes. Moving on though, Iron Man issue 313, Caught Up in the Holiday Spirits. This is another one of those, I guess, in the era where Tony Stark was dealing with his demons of alcoholism. As you see, we have the bourbon bottle there, forefront of the cover. As you see in my background, bourbon is another hobby of mine. I like sipping on a little bit of the little bourbon while reading a few comics, just enough to kind of relax, loosen up, and enjoy the story more. I enjoy it in a more safe manner than Mr. Tony Stark, I guess. Moving on though, another Iron Man special tribute issue, The Legend. Honestly, I have no idea what this is. I assume it's going to highlight previous issues. For $1, I thought it was a great find. I wanted to add it in, and it has a nice reference and a fun little read. Okay, Marvel Comics Presents. This was a run from the, I believe, late 80s or 1990 area that I've been collecting on. There were under 200 issues. I believe these were like a bi-monthly release. As you can see here in the front, we have Wolverine. On the back and flipped, we have Ghost Rider. So a lot of these books would have 2 to 4 different stories. Here is issue 128, as well as issue 136. And there's the Wolverine side of it. And there is the Ghost Rider. Cage, Iron Fist, and Ghost Rider. So I have actually read a few of my consecutive issues of these. These are really fun. It takes a little bit to keep up with so many different stories going on, but they're shorter segments, so it's easier to digest. This is a bit random. Avengers Arena. From a lot of these discount bins, especially at Kirby's, I have collected, I believe, the first dozen or more. Here's issue 17, as you see. I see a sticker from where someone else once upon a time was going to sell it for $3. I stole it for $1. Alright, Avengers West Coast, issue 91. Ultron's Adamantium Mate War Toy. I don't know really anything about this character. I do have a few more issues in the 90s and the 80s, so perhaps I have enough consecutive issues that I can get a good story out of that. Maybe I can read here soon. Alright, now I am kind of all over still, I know, with my collecting, but here filling in some more gaps. I believe this is the 3rd volume of Avengers. This one I believe is Busiek, Perez, and Vey. This is issue 25, a giant size spectacular. More pages, more story, more fun. Okay, moving on, back into the main run, but later is issue 323 here. Crossing Line. This is part 4 of 6. I know I have a few other issues right off of this storyline. I believe I'm still missing one, but perhaps I can jump right into that storyline. Okay. And then a little earlier than that, here's issue 313, the ultimate supervillain team up, plus the beginning, the fate of the Scarlet Witch. So, Acts of Vengeance. I don't have all of those, but perhaps I have some enough consecutive issues there as well. Looks like a fun issue though. Right. Okay, back into issue 344 of Avengers, Duel of the Dark Knights. I believe we're all excited to see Kit Harington don the armor as the Black Knight. I'm not expecting the swordsman to be as huge a player moving forward in the MCU, considering how his role was in Hawkeye, but who knows? Who knows? I believe this one actually came with an extra issue, which is Star Wars, Darth Vader, it's the Crimson Reign. I do not collect as much on Star Wars, but I think I will give this issue a try, see how the artwork is, how the story feels, and maybe this is another avenue I may start collecting. Alright, here is Fantastic Four, first issue. I believe this is the 1998 run, which is volume 3 of Fantastic Four by Lobdell. Legend begins anew. I believe I may have actually read this one already, and I'm ready to start on issue 2, and I believe I have at least the first dozen of those. So that'll be fun to continue on. Now back into our main run there, Legacy issue 259, 3 Against Doomsday. It's just an awesome Doctor Doom cover there. I believe I looked on the back, someone once upon a time had a $10 price tag on that. And I got it for, you guessed it, $1. Alright, one of my last issues to show off from this haul, Fantastic Four 213, 40-cent issue there. Fantastic Four to the Death. Just an awesome cover. It is a bit aged, you see it has some fading to it. But I am excited to jump into that one as well. Alright, last one to show off today. This is Daredevil, the Man Without Fear. This was the Frank Miller, John Romita Jr. I actually already had issues 2 through 5. I believe this is a 5-issue mini-series, and I have had many people tell me this was one of their favorite runs on Daredevil. So I am excited to get started reading on this. So, setting these down. And to continue with my trend of my bourbon of choice to go with my reading, I'm going to go with, considering I've got the Man in Red, let's go with the bourbon with the red top. This is the Maker's Mark 46. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So, Maker's is probably one of the smoother, one of my more favorite bourbons. So, this should be fun. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope you enjoy.